Hi, everybody. I wanted to take a moment to revisit the idea of supplemental aids, uh, particularly when it comes to your research-based presentations. A supplemental aid, just as your book discusses, can come in many forms. You could bring in a model of something. You could give your classmates a handout of information if they needed to have the information after the speech. However, most of the time, supplemental aids take the form of slides, so that's what I'm going to focus on. So let's take a look at this slide, which is full of information. Yes. Now, when we see a slide like this, we tend to start reading, even if there's somebody standing up there beside it talking, okay? And it doesn't matter, even if you're saying the same thing, it's still a distraction, okay? So your audience is not going to be quizzed or tested over this material. So avoid all this. It's not necessary. You want the focus to be on you. Okay. All right. This slide is a little bit better, has a little more visual interest, but we still have all these bullet points and information at the left. Let's omit that. I mean, if we stuck with the images themselves, that would be much easier to follow. And again, like I said, your audience is not being tested over this. We don't need the bullet points. Their focus should be on you. Okay, this slide, it's better. It's a chart, but it's out of focus. Remember, the people in the back of the room are just as important as the people in the front. So if you are taking an image from an article and blowing it up, make sure that you've got the resolution there. A chart like this is simple enough that you could easily replicate it in Excel or perhaps a different program. And that's something you should consider, especially if it would add to your speech. All right, this image is one that was used for a speech about palm reading. It's very clear. The people in the back can see it just as easily as the people in the front. We can see where the lines are. Everything's labeled. Yes, this would work quite well. It also helps that it's the only image on the slide. All right, this brings me to a common mistake. People proofread outlines, they proofread essays, but they often don't proofread slides, which, given that you have a larger audience for the slides, doesn't always make sense. So be careful. Make sure you're spelling everything correctly. Get rid of those red lines, that kind of thing. All right, we've got what should be a familiar concept with you here. Yeah, it's here. It should be enlarged to the full size of the screen. But yes, this would be a good slide, especially if it was enlarged. All right, a few basic reminders. Something will usually go wrong. Okay, so test that PowerPoint out. Run through your presentation at home during practice with the slides. Make sure everything works. Now, during your presentation, you will have use of my clicker, so you won't be stuck right there in front of the computer. Now, after you've prepared and proofread your PowerPoint file or whatever, make sure to save the file in the folder I have shared with you. Remember, that's not a place to submit the supplemental aids. It's just a place to store it so that we don't have to deal with everybody logging in and out of the computer during the speeches. I have sent links, but if you didn't receive it for some reason, I've also put the links on the speaking schedule for each class. And if necessary, be prepared to do the presentation without the PowerPoint because things happen. I can think of 4 instances in the last few years where I've come in and a screen has been down or a computer's not worked or whatever. And yeah, the person has to do the speech without the slides that day. Things happen, in class, just like real life. Okay, That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, be sure to email me and have a great day. I really look forward to hearing and seeing your speeches.